Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Canned Air, your tribute to pop culture. I am Jeremy Colley.
And I'm Jack Doherty.
And our guest today is a movie maker here in Columbus that me and Jack just recently had the privilege of getting to watch him work. We got to be background extras on a short film called Good Luck to Me recently, and it was cool to watch this guy work because he never stopped. It's an admirable trait to make film. I'm very jealous. But from Alysm Films, we welcome director, cinematographer, and editor Thomas Angeletti to the show. Thomas, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. I feel like this has been a long time coming. You've been on our radar for probably about what, Jack? About a year now?
Actually,
something like
as
that.
a matter of fact, it has been.
Yeah, it's good to actually sit down and talk with you today. So very excited, and it was a lot of fun to be on the set of Good Luck to Me. So to everybody who made that happen for us, thank you, especially yourself, Thomas. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for being there. It was a blast. I think Alex, right? Alex Johnson.
Yes. Okay.
Is how you guys came into play there.
Yeah, Alex is a good dude. Like him a lot.
Love that guy. Love him. Not many productions happen without him doing something behind the scenes. He don't take any credit. Like, I'm sure you guys know him well enough by now, but he doesn't take credit. He doesn't think he does anything, but man, he moves things. He makes things happen.
That's totally Alex too. Yeah.
And just like we were saying, we were watching you work hard. Same with him. That dude was constantly around. He was kind of our point of contact. Is it okay to walk through here? Yes, no, maybe so. He was very on it. Very on it. I was jealous of of the crew you have.
I love having them. They're my family. Been a long time building them. I'm sure we'll talk more about that as the time moves on. But
so let's go back to the beginning, man, or at least your beginnings. I assume you're a native here to Columbus.
I'm actually from a small town called Utica, which is probably an hour northeast of here. If you ever heard of Velvet Ice Cream, that's where I'm from.
Is it by Lima?
Nope, actually no. That's
okay.
I think that's called Attica or something like that. It's similar to Utica because it always gets confused. Either they think I'm from Utica, New York, or we're somewhere up northern Ohio. It's really not that far. It's actually 9 miles north of Newark. Or if you're from Licking County, you say Newark.
Nurk.
Yep. Yeah. Nurk. Very cool, man. So what brought you to Columbus? Was this just like a move from childhood, or did you come as an adult?
I came as an adult. So I spent most of my years on a 105-acre farm. And when I got in my 20s, I was actually a musician. I was touring in a death metal band. And I was doing some country music too. And I was like, man, I'm tired of being poor. This sucks. I gotta go to college or get a job or something that I can stop eating ramen noodles all the time. So that led me to college, which then led me to this beautiful city. So I've been here ever since. But I was probably 2010, 2012, somewhere in that.
Oh wow, okay.
We're in that time frame.
So you say you play music, which totally lines up. I grew up out in the country myself, and me and my friends, just to stay entertained, that's what we did. We all learned instruments and we're playing music. What do you play?
Mainly guitar. I do
still
love
play?
drums. Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yep.
Are you still in a group?
Nope. Actually, I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point here, but we just put into festival a film called Cowboy Christmas. And all of the music is all done by country musicians here in Columbus. Every note is played.
Wow.
We got them. They went to the studio. They even recorded a song just for us for the credits called It's Still Christmas. It's kind of like a 70s country Christmas album, something that George and Tammy would do, or, Conway and Tammy.
Sure.
But has that same vibe. And we filmed it all live, shot it live. There wasn't no tracking or overdubs. They put them all in a room and they just put a mic there, a couple mics actually, and did it the old fashioned way. And it's just, I'm really excited to show that film. Not only for I just did the cinematography. I didn't write it or direct it, but just the sheer amount of collaboration that we had in that film is just impeccable. But with that being said, I just hang around those guys now and pick with them, but I'm not really in a band per se.
Wow. That's so cool though, to have, live, actual musicians, flesh and blood musicians, instead of having AI whip something up or finding a royalty-free soundtrack that you can use. Not that there's anything wrong with the royalty-free stuff or even AI. It's just, I don't know. there's something a little more special to it to have your own personal soundtrack done by live breathing musicians, you know?
It just hits harder.
Yeah.
And the real reason, to be honest with you, that I got away from RF or royalty free music, right? We was at a a film festival, and two films had the same song.
Oh.
And it was a very emotional song, and it was at both films like super important dramatic moment. And once the second, film got in with the same song, it was ruined. Like it just took away the effects of like I heard this song.
Yeah.
And it just really blew it out of the water for me. And I'm like, I think Alex was right next to me. I look at him, never again. We're never doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if I got to make it or our sound guy, William Stanley. He's a composer. He's classically trained. Guy's a master musician as well. I just told him he couldn't touch Cowboy Christmas because it's like this has to be country. You gotta step away from this one. All the other ones you can have, but not this one. But either he's writing it, I'm writing it, or I'm finding musicians to write it from now on. And I want them to be at least from Ohio, if not from Columbus. Like I want to grow the scene. I want everybody to get a piece of the pie, right? I want their work to be shown just like our work, right? And we're celebrating everybody, growing this scene together. So
yeah, all different avenues of creativity coming together to make a project happen within the community. That's pretty awesome, man. Sure, they appreciate that too. But where does your journey then into film begin? You said a little while ago, you were like, I need to find a job, need to go to school. Did you go to school for cinematography, or did you start something else?
I went to school for IT.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Information technology. I was a network engineer. I actually didn't even do anything with the camera until probably like 2015, 2016. I started it started out just being a joke, but I did this thing with a friend of mine at the time called Hill Grillies, and we really just got super drunk and cooked barbecue. That was like the thing. And then like we started out with just a cell phone, and then all of a sudden, my friend Justin Jean, who does a lot of the cinematography work for Alysm Films now, he just brought his camera over. He's just been doing it for a minute. He come over, started filming some of the episodes. He's like, dude, we need another angle. We need two cameras because it's like two of you. You guys are doing all this stuff. We need two. So I went out and bought a camera, not knowing shit about fuck. Just went out and bought a Sony 6500, $1,700. And I didn't even know how to turn the thing on. I didn't know how to put a lens on. I didn't know how to do anything. But I always loved film. I always loved movies. I just never got into it. It was never a thing. I was always just a musician. And then after we stopped doing Hill Grillies, he's like, dude, you just bought this camera. You might as well just like come help me film some stuff. And then I just kind of fell in love with it. I actually went photography kind of first and then straight into like filmmaking. So it's kind of like this trajectory of going. And now I just shoot film photo, like actual still film, and then movies now.
Right. You were saying that, the first camera you bought, you had no idea what you were getting, if it was the right one or not. And now, when I was looking around on your YouTube page, it looks like you have a whole series of different videos showing examples of different cameras' capabilities, or are you sitting there and talking to the audience about what each camera does, or what you might be looking for this type of a project? What inspired you to do that? I mean, was it just the struggles you had, like wanting to know this information, like paying it forward kind of a thing?
Exactly. Just teaching. I think if you don't learn something and then teach someone else, I feel like you're just doing a disservice to the community, right? So like I struggled because, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, YouTube was a thing, obviously, but it wasn't where it is now. You didn't have ChatGPT, you didn't have TikTok, you didn't have all these different apps. So you could just type in something and 17,000 people will show you the same way to do it,
Right.
many different ways. But I love teaching, and I feel like not only is it giving back, paying forward, but you kind of show your mastery, right? You kind of hone in even more so on your skills or abilities when you could teach it to someone fluently, and then they're like, shit, this guy just like light bulb just goes off, right? And then they're off doing their thing because of something you taught them. And also that feels good, right?
Of course.
I mean, you guys see me on set. I'm constantly yelling at people to like, do this, check this, do this, go over there. And they all know. I tell them at the beginning of every project, new people, right? The old people that's been with me, the OGs, they know. But like I tell them, everything I'm saying to you is because I want to make a movie. We're all buying in to make a movie. Don't mind me if I'm yelling. Don't mind me if I'm throwing things or if I'm running around. Right? At the end of the day, you're here. I'm here to make a movie. And once you get that buy-in, like I just kind of throw everything out the window, and then I'm there because that's my mindset, right? Like whatever I say and do, I'm like, shit, I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but I'm like, I'm here to make a movie. It was kind of the Italian in me comes out a little erratic, but like, I'm just here to fuck shit up, really. But with the teaching thing, I just want to pay it forward. I just want to teach people things. I love teaching. I love it.
Right. And, you've got to have that tunnel vision on set. Like you were talking about, like, we're all here to make a movie. Don't take offense to anything I say. Not that we ever heard you say anything like that on set, but I can imagine what you're talking about. No time to sometimes for politeness or social formalities, just get the hell out of the way or get that out of shot or, you know what I mean?
Yep. And that's exactly why I say that. And they everybody, for the most part, we've never had a problem with anyone not kind of knowing that, but it's good to just lay those ground rules, right? Like,
sure,
just ahead of time. That way, because people that are on set with me know how I am, but others don't. Like Alex would probably tell you like 1,000 stories about me. I was like, William will tell you, but like new people, it's like you just gotta say up front, you're here to make a movie. I'm here to make a movie. Like anything that we do, any decision that I make, right? Any decision that you come to me to try to persuade me is just to make a good movie.
Right.
So we say that in every single pre-prod, like the first pre-prod meeting. That's the first thing one of the first things I say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've done that before on the show, Jack. Like I think in the times we've gone to record like a music, like a Christmas song in the past or something, like because we know how tedious it can be when we've done that in the past. And before we start, but listen, I'm going to be a little tense, so roll with it. But
especially, I mean, having to get a right note and stuff like that. You're like, nope. All right, try it again, but more with this. No. I mean, you kind of have to.
I think I totally scared Randy off the song making process. But it's just like Thomas says, nothing ever personal. It's just like we got to get this done. Got to get this done. So tell us then, where then does Alysm Films come into play? How did you decide to start this up? Where does the name come from?
Well, so I was helping Justin with his company, and it's called Spare Time Footage. And he does a lot of like talking head stuff, interviews, events, kind of narrative documentary type work, right? And I wanted to kind of segue into just narrative filmmaking myself, right? So I didn't really have a name. I didn't expect it to come where we are now, but I'm a big history buff and I love death metal. Those are like all music really, but like metal's like up there.
Sure.
And I was just researching stuff about the bubonic plague, and back before pathology was like really solidified and modern medicine was a thing, right? They had a condition that they called Alysm, and it was when people had super high fevers for multiple days on end, and they didn't have any penicillin or antibiotics to stop fevers, and they would start twitching, they would start hallucinating because your body cannot sustain a fever for a long period of time. You actually start losing it. And they just called the people that had that, they had Alysm. So I'm like, that's a badass name, dude. I'm just going to call it Alysm Films. And like thinking about it now, I'm like, shit, I probably should have picked a better name that people can pronounce and like I don't have to like correct them, because it was funny. I was at the bar the other night and this guy's like, that's like the worst thing in marketing, dude. You got to have a name that people know how to pronounce. You're never going to go anywhere if they can't pronounce it. And I'm just like, I know, bro. I didn't expect it to be here. I just was making stupid films. And like now it's on IMDb and it's on a movie database. It's on Letterboxd. It's like it would take a while to change the name. Not that I'm, someday maybe not opposed to it, but like the tedious work that would take to change all of that, plus all the movie posters, all the credits and everything.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's how I came up with it. I was just like kind of researching shit about the plague and the medieval times and shit, because knights are badass.
You're damn straight. Damn straight they are. But you saying that makes me think of when we came up with Canned Air. I think maybe 2 or 3 years in, I was thinking, we should change it, but never did. And then I thought it again later,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's far too late, because people were being like, well, why Candare? That doesn't have shit to do with what you're talking about. What's that even mean? Like, you look at that name and that tells nothing about what the show is. And yeah, there was a time I was like, maybe we should have, but it's far too late. Like, could never do it now.
It's a pain in the ass. And then you lose following and people just get confused.
Exactly. So
yeah, someone that wasn't following for the time for a little bit, kind of lost them for a little bit, and they want to come back, and all of a sudden you're gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Or you got a listener that used to like, oh man, these guys, they were awesome. They were Candare. And then you go to search for them, like, I don't see this shit anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you got another name. And it's like, I'm telling you, bro, it's Candare. And they're like, no, man, there ain't nobody named that.
No, man,
that would
you're
be my
making it
luck.
up, man.
That would be my luck. One of our movies would smash, and then like this is Alysm Films people, and I'm like, and they'd be like, what the fuck is Alysm Films? That's not even a thing. That would be my luck. That would be my luck.
Well, don't change it, because it's an awesome name. I love it, and it keeps you. It kept me intrigued, because I was just, for so long, like, I thought I knew how to pronounce it, but I always, my mind immediately wants to go to like Asylum the first time I saw it. But
yeah, and a lot of people do that.
Well, Google mainly, because when I first started Googling for you, it kept like auto-correcting to that. I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. But I love the name, man.
Thanks.
It's awesome. So what about your crew, though? I know you've got a big crew that helps you out. How big is your crew?
Shoot, it gets up to 40 some people, depending on what we need.
Man.
We have a core of 5 to 7 that I rely on like every day. Like, actually, right after this, we're going to meet to talk about our next film called Proprio. But I have like a core, and then it just kind of goes out from there, right?
Sure.
And then I have people that I tap for like special things, like depending on what their specialty is. Like, I have a solidified group of people that I pick, because I honestly don't like bringing in new people. I think I'm really, especially like we're talking about, like, we're here to make a movie and we're going to raise hell, and we're going to be loud, and we're going to be efficient. We're going to be effective. And bringing new people in, you always risk that vibe, right?
Yeah.
You always risk that. Are they going to be cancerous? Are they going to have a bad day because they're not doing the job they want to do? Are they pissed off because lunch sucked? Or, and then it's just like, it's crazy enough, and Alex will tell you about this. We do test shoots with some of these people where we just like, I force someone to write a short. I don't force them, obviously, but I ask them to write a short, and we will do like a 2 to 3 minute film at some random location, and we'll film it. I'll have some new guy on camera, somebody doing audio, somebody doing whatever this person's doing. I just kind of like to do a test run. I bring in actors that I always want to work with, and I have them, act out some lines. Then they have a reel, right? So everyone has a reel of this 2 to 3 minute film. I have something I put in my back pocket for this actor. Like, shit, man, when I have this detective role, maybe like 5 films down, this is the guy I'm going to hit up, or something, just something random like that. And then I get to see how people work under pressure, because people talk a lot, but when you're on our sets, like, you're either working or you're leaving. Like, I don't, you notice there's no chairs, nobody's sitting around. Right. I don't allow people to sit on set. A video village is standing only. I only have 1 monitor for that, because I don't want 17 people over there by 5 monitors, just wasting a bunch of time.
Yeah.
So I need people that can subscribe to that kind of, I guess, shit, I don't even know the term. I guess just way of
stipulations.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, because you're just wasting time. Yeah, I mean, like me and my friends, like I mentioned earlier, we grew up playing music too, and the first few times we actually bought studio time for ourselves. So excited, and we were in there with our excitement, and through that excitement, wasted a lot of time. Looking around at shit, talking about it instead of focusing on the job. And we ended up paying for a 10-hour block and only got a few songs out of it. So next time we went back, like, okay, got to buckle down, or we're not going to get shit done. We're just wasting our time and this producer's time,
Yep. And that's especially for scenes that you guys were in. Like, good luck to me. And we had like 40 extras, right? And we had an hour to shoot that scene. And I'd come in there, raising hell. Like, we got to get people in position. We got to raise this fucking light. We got to turn this shit on. We got to go. Yeah. And The extras, I love. I kind of like it when people stare at me when I'm doing that shit. Like, look, what the fuck's this guy? Who's this guy? He's just over here yelling and screaming and throwing his hands in the air.
I mean, I wouldn't have painted you that way on that day. I mean, I'm sure there are days like that, but you just looked very focused.
Yeah,
like
definitely. Yeah,
there was nothing in your peripheral. It was the objective straight in front of you. So if we were watching, that's what I was watching. Like, wow, like just watching you work. I love the behind the scenes of anything. I think that's kind of what spawned this show. The one thing I find more interesting than any like band or movie or TV show is finding out how that shit was made. So being there on set and watching it all happen, oh, it was incredible. And I had never once thought, man, that dude's being an asshole. I thought, wow, that dude knows what he wants to get done today,
And
those couple times when the extras were being extra loud and someone had to keep coming over and telling them to be quiet. Jeremy and I are just kind of sitting there.
We know better.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you guys are experienced. Some of them, and I try to bring the same extras back. So my goal is like, if you were an extra in this, I bring you back for a next film. You come 2 or 3 films, and now I'm trying to get you into like a very, not like main actor role. I mean, maybe they crack it, right? But my goal is to get people into these extra roles, see if they're committed, then put them into acting roles. Same with like the crew, right? You come in and you're a grip, you do a really good job at grip. Next thing you'll be an AC. Next thing you'll be doing cam op. Next thing you're doing DP. Like these next 2 shorts that we have coming up, I'm kind of just stepping away and just kind of executive producing, like overseeing the whole thing. And I'm trying to bring people that's been with the crew and doing other jobs into like more important roles to get them to grow, get some laurels under their belt. Maybe they get on a podcast. Maybe they get somebody, looking their way or talking about them because they deserve it. They work their asses off. But I'm just trying to organically build that. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing like that around here that I've ever seen.
No. That kind of thing would be hard pressed to find, and I'm sure is very much appreciated. I mean, we appreciate the opportunity to be there. But it's just incredible. It's so incredible. I'm so jealous of that kind of team. I mean, we've got our team, but I don't know if we're as fine oiled as your team.
They probably would have something else to say. I make them do a lot of meetings. There's a lot of pre-prod. There's a lot of stern conversations between all of us. A lot of what people will call, that's my cat, sorry.
That's okay. I've got one too.
He's
loud.
trying to jump up. He's trying to jump up. He's half Maine Coon, so he's going to be really loud here.
Oh my God. That's so is the one I've got. And it's loud.
He never shuts up. Here he is.
Oh, wow.
It's Puffy.
That's a pretty boy.
Lay down. Mm-hmm. He's 16.
Oh, wow.
He's only got 3 fangs because he sunk one in my arm and broke it off a couple years ago.
Tell me it's still in your arm.
No, I pulled it out. I should have left it. No, I'm kidding. But see, Puffy, you just changed the whole podcast.
No, it's good. We welcome that kind of stuff. But going back to the film, you were talking about an upcoming. Well, you just were talking about a few projects. One, which is what I'm assuming you just were wrapping on, or maybe you already said that, was Cowboy Christmas.
Yep, that one's going. That one started festival run 6/1. So it's going to be hitting festivals all around here, hopefully, right? We Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton.
Oh wow.
We're trying to submit for ones in Chicago, just try to like grow outward, right? Because we already got a great base here and just keep going,
right.
Kind of just stretching out as far as we can go. But yeah, that one's in. So that we started that in December. Actually like November. That one's done. And now Good Luck to Me, you guys were just on. That one moves into post. So the whole flow, we have one in festivals, right? And then Good Luck to Me, which you guys were on, is almost finished already. Then that one's going to go into festivals. And then we start 2 other films, 2 other shorts. One's called Dan's Birthday and the other one's called Propria. So while Cowboy Christmas and Good Luck to Me is in festivals, these ones are getting done. And then we just kind of just rotate in and out these films. And just
it's an assembly line of films.
Yeah, seriously.
I should show you guys our Millinote board sometime.
That would be cool.
It's insane.
That would be really cool to see.
And that's why we get that shit done, because we're so extremely organized. It's like, and it takes a lot of work and I think the whole behind the scenes thing, like even what you're talking about, like seeing it on set is one thing, but like seeing the documentation, the meetings, the amount of notes we have to take, the amount of visual boards, well, you can't really see, but there's all kinds of sticky notes on my wall. It looks kind of like Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like the whole post office thing. Because we're breaking down scripts and that's how I have to visualize it. But it's just constant planning, because like we went into that Good Luck to Me, right? We had 4 scenes to do in 6 hours.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is the shit. You're going to come in here. We're going to film this up. You're going to set this shit up. We're going to be out in the parking lot. We're going to roll this in. You're going to be here. You're going to be here. It's like a battle plan. It really is.
Yeah.
And that's how we get what we get done. We shot 17 pages of dialogue in 4 hours. And if you ask anyone else about that, that's impossible.
Yeah.
And that's because I made the actors do 7 to 9 table reads. They could rehearse that. Because I do long takes. I make actors act. That's what I tell them all the time. Like, you're here to act. We're not going to do 2 lines and a cut, 2 lines and a cut. I'm doing a long take. You're giving me at least a page of dialogue. And if you can't, you didn't do a good job memorizing these lines.
Yeah. Wow. You got to admire that though, man. No fucking around. That's what
you're here to do.
Yeah.
I'm very careful about the cast that I pick or let the crew pick, because I know ahead of time if they can handle that, right? Because if they can't, I don't really, not really a good fit for us, right? Because of the way that we work.
Yeah. So is this? I guess it's just casting calls, right? That you put out and then people apply, and then you just have to go through the gambit of finding which one works.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we send out a casting call. They send in video submissions. We give them sides, right? Basically, these are the lines. It depends on the film. Sometimes I'll give them if one, because another thing, like, we're trying to do all writing internal, not anything outside that's been written is not gonna. It's gonna come from one of our people. So if there's like a film, we'll get into that.
Okay.
But let's say there's like a film that really resonates. Like, for instance, when we did Friends Forever, the Colleen's character, Cassandra and Erica, right? Erica, we did Pearl. Like when Mia Goth did, I made them give me that fucking monologue where she's sitting at the table, right? And just kind of when she breaks down before she kills her friend, the pig's out there rotting on the porch. I had them give me a section of that because I just wanted to see, faces. I wanted to see body language, because so much of acting is not in the words, right? It's in your body language. You should act with your face, act with your hands, not so much just reciting lines. And a lot of newer actors, like, I memorize the lines. I'm great. But if you're not portraying that with your body language or making me feel what you're trying to say, it's just words. The same with actual people, right? Words are shit. Anybody can say something.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to show something, but it depends. So sometimes I'll give them lines from the actual film. Sometimes we'll give them lines from another movie and have them act it out. Because the thing about giving them lines from another movie, it's familiar, right? You know the movie, you know the person, or at least can watch in that film and be like, okay, that's
just
the mind
copy
state
who they are.
Yep.
Yep.
As opposed to lines, like we'll get questions like, what's the relationship between this and that person? Or what is that person going through before they said, and I love shit like that. If you're watching this and you go to our casting call, you ask us questions like that, I love it. Fuck it. Because it shows me you're invested in the character and you actually want to do a good job, as opposed to just giving me a link to a YouTube video where you just said the lines.
Right.
But it depends on the role of the film and all that.
I've kind of joked about that as being extras on doing other stuff. Is like, I don't know if my character would walk this way down the road, just kind of screwing around kind of thing.
They're like, just walk, asshole. You're an extra. Just walk.
I've never dealt with that. That would be funny, though. I don't know how. It depends on how I would deal with, like, where we'd be at.
Oh, I know how you deal with it. The exit
like
door's
when
right
we were
there.
in the
Get
restaurant.
the fuck out.
Probably, or I would tell somebody else to deal with it.
Right.
I don't drink red wine. I drink white wine. My character would rather have that.
Get out.
It's grape juice. Don't drink it anyway.
Yeah. That's a big thing about not having alcohol on set.
Well, yeah, we were background extras on a film called Sasquatch, and like in the scene we were in, they gave us watered down Lipton tea, and the whole setting was a bar. And let me tell you what, that whole night, I kept going for that teak. I was like, I wanted the beer. It's like we're in a bar. It fits the setting. Like it was so on spot. I needed the beer and didn't have it.
Yeah.
Well, now you got like that NA beer, the athletic beer. So I think it's called Athletic. They make like IPAs and stouts. It tastes just like the shit, but there's no alcohol in it. And it's fantastic. Yeah. If you ever have to do a beer scene or something like that, they got billboards all over the city. Whatever this company is. I think it's called Athletic something. New Athletic, something Athletic.
I'll have to look.
That beer tastes, that IPA tastes just like a Rhinegeist Truth. And I'm like, and there's no alcohol in this. And I think that helps because, you know, the actor's actually drinking something that tastes like it as opposed to like you said, like when for After, if you've ever seen that film with Timothy Cox, he drank a whole bottle of whiskey and that shit was just tea and lemonade and water. And it was nasty.
Wow.
And
he did a damn good job at projecting inebriation in that.
Yeah. He's a fantastic actor, but man, every time we cut, he had to run in the bathroom like 30 some times.
I bet. So I'm extremely interested because my next question was going to be, you know, where do some of these ideas and movies come from? But you just said that you guys all write internally. I had no idea about that. So do you even humor outside scripts, or is it just we want to keep all this coming from our group? We want, like, I don't know how to say it, like total ownership of these projects kind of a thing.
So I created what we call a writers group, and that's actually, I'm going to meet with them right after this podcast. And we meet every week, at least once a week, sorry. And we talk about scripts, who's writing what are you guys working on? What do we want to do? Because my main idea is to come up with some fake trailers because we're, you know, if we start playing in a showcase, because the main goal, well, I'll get in that in a second. But anyway, so I don't want to entertain outside stuff. I want it to all come from people within, because I'll only entertain outside scripts for two things. Either we're selling it to someone else, right? And we don't have any clearing of it, or something comes from outside and we work on it, right? We don't lose any creative control. Because the thing I don't like is a lot of people, like I respect the shit out of Terrifier, like Damien Leone, right? So he started out with All Hallows Eve and all those YouTube videos and then blew up, but he kept his IP, right? He kept his intellectual property. A lot of these, you know, younger filmmakers, or I'm not calling myself young by any means, but like newer in the game or like kind of mid-established, they come up with an idea and they sell it. And then somebody like Blumhouse or Paramount or A24 takes it and then they're like, now it's our shit. Yeah. Fuck off. You don't get any say or anything like that. So that's why I want to keep it internal. So that way every idea written or directed or produced comes from inside this core. And I think it grows our core that much stronger because it's not somebody else just like, here's some money, right? Do it this way. It's, you know, Alex telling me like, that's fucking stupid. Do it this way. Or William's like, we would never do this sound like that. Let's do it this way. And then we actually get our funding from like, you know, Indiegogo or Grassroots, or we do, you know, showcases or premieres, because I'd rather have money from people that actually care about our art and want to support us, and we can value and give them what they really want, as opposed to a production company or like a streaming company that just wants a title or just wants an idea to be able to just take it off and do whatever they want with it. Right.
Yeah.
And as far as like outside smaller scripts, there's indie, like other like people that send us scripts all the time. But we really try to stay away from it. There's never been nothing to like rock our socks that we couldn't have, you know, come up with something similar or along the lines of, or better than. I'm not saying better than like comparatively, but you know what I mean? Like better as like our ideas, our people like coming together with those ideas.
Right. No, I totally get that. And it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So these few upcoming films you were just talking about, one of which I remember was Propria, correct?
Propria,
excuse me. Can you are you able to talk at all about these films, or is it too early, or NDAs in flux kind of stuff?
NDAs are in flux. You guys should have Vinaya on at some point. Vinaya Bryson, she actually wrote Propria. So funny story, just like here's how Vinaya was an extra in Cowboy Christmas.
Okay.
And she was just in the bar scene, right? And then she just comes up to me just ballsy as shit. Like, you want to go get some beers and talk about films? I'm like, yeah, we were going to go get beers anyway, because that's what we do after we shoot. Next thing you know, she's in the writers group and she's like, I got this script. It's called Propria. And then, well, actually it was called something else. And then we decided on that name as a group. But now she's writing our next short, and now she's already working on a feature for us.
Wow.
Wow.
That we're probably going to do next year, called Watched. Propria, I really can't speak too much about it. And I always like to have the writer speak about it, because it's coming, because it's near and dear to their heart. It's coming from their experience, right? And it's very personal to her. So I wouldn't want to overstep that. But I will tell you that film's going to be a mind fuck. We are planning 1 to 2 tech days a week to even just master the camera movements and the lighting for this film. The goal for this film is to be completely immersive as best we can, to really drag the viewer through this hell that this person's facing, as opposed to just acting. I really want the actors to be in the environment, not the actors or the, it's like backwards. I fucked that up when I said that, but like, I really want to concentrate on the aspects of the environment, and then the actors inside of the environment, instead of the actors just making the environment, right? Instead of a girl sitting in a room, I want the room to engulf the girl, right? So it's a lot of lighting. We're actually bringing extra gaffers in for this. I'm super excited. But yeah, I don't really want to speak too much on like the script or anything like that.
Understandable, but I love that. I love hearing that. That sounds so. This sounds like it's a like even a challenge, like a new thing you're trying, like a new hurdle for Alysm Films.
Yep, and I'm just sitting back. I'm not running camera on this. Justin's running camera, and John Carroll and Brandon Hendricks are doing gaffing, and they're exceptional at just creating these just ethereal landscapes and just lighting, this ambient lighting that just they're so detail oriented like me, and that's why I can't be around people that are like not detail oriented. At least like, here's the big picture, lay it out, but like I need those guys to come in like, look at that fucking hair light. You see that shit on his shoulder? That's terrible. Why would we do that? Shit like that. Like, and John and Brandon and Justin are like the best at that shit.
But you'll still be on set though, like
I'm gonna
move that camera, boy, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna direct it. My main goal with these other shorts, other than Propria, because Propria is just gonna be a heavy lift, is just start overseeing. I want to bring people that's been in the crew a while and let them start directing. Right, let them start DPing, like really coming up with like the visual aspect of this film, or like the soundscape of this film, or how we're gonna make this shit happen. So I really want to bring them up, and then at that point we're creating multiple teams so I can work on multiple films. Basically, as much as I hate to say it, Alex is gonna laugh when he hears this, like a mini A24. It's kind of like what we're kind of trying to model after, where you're this one giant company, but you're making several films inside of this conglomerate of creatives.
I love A24. Why would
there's nothing wrong with A24.
No, not at all. Why would he laugh at that?
Because there's some films I just don't like that they made, and he always gives me shit for like talking bad about A24.
Oh, I've got to know which one you don't like now, because there's some I don't like.
This will take forever. I don't know if we got that kind of time.
Just drop one. Just one. Just drop one.
That I really didn't like. A recent one? What was the one with shit? I could think of his name. The one where the girls are in like the maze in the house.
Oh, the Heretic?
Heretic, yeah. Thought that was awful.
Really?
Aside from acting, too much. Like, I just don't like how they're getting with all the CGI. Like, even Friendship was good, but it was acting. Like, I didn't like, if you take Tim and Paul out of that film and put 2 other people, would it be that good? Probably not. Probably wouldn't have been that good.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so but I've been wanting to. I really want to see it now that you've said that. I'm very extra curious.
And I try to think of the film we saw before that, because so it's funny because most of our core has memberships at the Gateway Film Center, in Columbus. So like you pay $15 a month, you can see as many movies as you want. Right. Except for, unless they're shot like, they'll show like the 35 millimeters here and there, or, special edition films, right? They go dig deep in the archives. Every other film is free. So we go to at least one movie a week. That is like the
Wow.
goal. Like it's either my wardrobe guy, James Bowersock. He's actually the guy that wrote and directed Cowboy Christmas, or William, or I will go. And he's a sound guy. He creates the music for literally almost every film we've ever made other than Cowboy Christmas.
Wow.
But we go to films all the time. Like, and I don't know, man. Like The Lighthouse was great. I loved Pearl, but like what, like Triple X, like what was that? Not X. What was the third T West film?
Oh, Maxine.
Awful. Thought it was awful.
Really? Another one.
Pearl was fantastic.
I loved the first one too. I thought X was really good.
X was good. It just reminded me like here's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we're gonna make a porn and put old naked people in positions of power, because that's what they do in every other film. Like Hereditary, like naked people, naked old people in positions of power. Midsummer, naked old people in positions of power. Like I don't understand what the whole thing about that is.
Wasn't there a bunch of naked old people in Witches in The Witch?
The Witch, yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to know a pattern here.
Yeah.
I know how to get picked up by A24 now. So get this. The scene starts on a group of naked old people. Welcome aboard.
They're really upset, and they're like, we need hero angles of them looking up at these naked old people.
We jest, but I'd watch it.
I would give it a chance. So probably the worst film, honestly, if we're gonna go that route, that I've seen recently is The Shrouds. I thought that was awful, and I'm such a David Cronenberg fan, and that movie was the most disappointing film I think I've ever seen.
Wow.
I'd have to put it like top 5 worst films.
Wow, that's wow.
And I'm telling you, Scanners, The Fly, Rabid. You could just go down the list of Cronenberg films. I love that fucking guy, but that movie was not. It wasn't even his. It's almost like they just attached his name and he wrote some of it just to make it sell. Because if that film didn't have his name on it, probably wouldn't have went anywhere.
It's like when Steven Spielberg's name was on like The Lost World, and you're like, come on, come on, bullshit.
Oh, man. Alex will get a kick out that we talked about A24 though.
Good, man. I'll tag him in this and make sure he's watching it or listening to it. So what would be then your dream film to direct? You've done all kinds of different films. It looks like you've dabbled in horror. You've done the serious angle. It looks like you've done some comedic angle. What would you love to do that you haven't done already?
Probably some of the scripts we're writing for next year.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. I'm writing a crime drama. Always wanted to do it. My last name rhymes with spaghetti. I got to do a mafia film, or it's like some kind of crime film. Like it has to happen. Like how I hate on A24, I probably fanboy over like Goodfellas, because I think Goodfellas was one of the greatest films ever made of all time, and nobody could tell me probably otherwise. Probably the only other film, and I'm not even talking about the gangster angle. Like there are 4 hours of music in that. There's in that song. Every camera angle, from breaking the fourth wall to continuous shots to static shots to pull in to push into the vertigo shot, is all in that film. Like it's just a masterpiece. And you can't, the acting is just, fucking Robert De Niro, fucking Ray Liotta, all those guys.
Joe Pesci.
You
think I'm funny? Funny like how?
Because honestly, my favorite gangster film would probably be A Bronx Tale. Honestly. And I don't even know if you count that as a gangster movie, but Goodfellas is just a masterpiece.
Sure. Yeah. I need to rewatch it. It's been so long since I've seen it.
I watch that shit like every other month.
I just need to watch it.
That's how I am with Django Unchained and Inglourious Bastards. They just always find themselves on every few months in my house. So
another hot take.
You hate them.
No, I don't mind those films. I don't like Reservoir Dogs. I've tried to watch that film 50 times, and I just don't get it.
I can relate to that.
Everybody dogs me on hating on that film, and I'm just like, it's just not that good. It just isn't.
I've never gone back and rewatched it. I've only ever seen it once, and there was the shock value and awe, and I was just like, wow. But then
it's like after you watch his later movies, it's like that one just seems a little boring. Maybe if that's where you started with Tarantino and then worked your way up, maybe then. But to like having gone in and watched Pulp Fiction first, say, and then going back to that could be a little underwhelming, you know?
What
There's going to be people with
favorite...
torches and pitchchforks on the lawn if I don't shut up. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Thomas?
Yeah, we're doing some hot takes here. What is your favorite QT film then? If you were to pick one.
Inglorious Bastards, probably.
Yeah.
That's probably the one. Go ahead, Jay.
Probably Pulp Fiction for me.
Yeah.
I need to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again. I wouldn't call it my favorite, but I need a rewatch on it to solidify its true placement in my rankings, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I haven't seen a lot of his films, so out of the handful that I have seen.
What about you?
Which is horrible.
Well, sorry, Jack.
Oh, I was going to say, which is horrible. I've only seen a handful of them, but a lot of movies get past me.
Isn't that the truth? Especially if you start them after 9 p.m.
right?
On a weeknight.
Yeah, you're cooking and doing other stuff. That's what I usually do. I would say my favorite would probably be Hateful Eight.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I fucking love that film. Walton Goggins is in it. And Samuel L. Jackson and Kurt Russell. Such a great film. And they have an extended version. It's like 4 hours long of like all the shit that they didn't, that they took out to make the film.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's such a good film.
Was that released as like a whole film, or did it come out in parts, or is it like a mini series kind of a thing?
They did all of the above. So they came out as a full film, but then on Netflix they did the extended version and actually come out in like episodes, and they showed that shit live. Like at the theaters, they had to take intermissions in between each part, like a bathroom break.
Wow,
because it was 4 hours long. I think it's probably one of the longest things I've ever watched. Sit down and watch, other than like The Irishman. It's a long ass film.
Give it a few more years, and Marvel will be putting out 4-hour movies. I guarantee it.
I just don't know if they could keep the asses in the seats for that long. Do you think they could?
Not mine. Not mine. 3 hours, 3.5 is already pushing it.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see The Brutalist, because everybody talks about how great that film is, but I don't know if I have the time to just sit down and devote to it.
Yeah.
Because then I watch every film twice. Because you watch it from like the filmmaking standpoint, where like you're watching the lighting, you're watching the acting, you're watching how they did this camera movement. Then it ruins it. I have to watch it that way myself. I can't watch it with other people unless it's like another filmmaker, because I ruin films for people. Because I'll be like, because you'll be sitting there telling them like, God, that fucking light, it's not even there. It's not even the right temperature. And like, what are you talking? It's like, it's 5,600 Kelvin. That's by a warm lamp. That's going to be like 3,700 at most. And they're just like, would you shut the fuck up?
Like, why did we come with this guy?
Yeah.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. I think Jack and I, when we go to films, we sometimes probably get a little bit on each other's nerves with like, hey, did you catch this? Did you catch that? That person was on the show. Did you hear this?
Yep.
Just shut up. Just shut up.
It's great.
Now, on your website, alysmfilms.com, which I will have linked in the description below, not only does it talk about what you guys are doing, but you can view past projects on there. Films that have been released, had their run at the festivals, et cetera, et cetera. Is there any project on there that you guys have produced that I guess stands out above the rest for you, that you would, how to word this, either deem the most challenging or like the best learning experience for you?
Oh shit, those are two different films. So best film for me, just in terms of like what I've learned in the experience, was Friends Forever, because we did that whole film mostly in one day. We shot that whole, with the exception, if you watch the film, there's like a black and white scene, right? That's in the 50s, because it's about a mother who murders her entire family because their crops are bad and they're all going to starve to death. So she does the motherly thing by killing all of them and killing herself. And then it speeds up to the 80s, right? And these, it's the classic, like these kids find a house and they try to get fucked up and then they just get fucked up. But we shot the entirety of that film, other than that black and white scene, of one day, 16 hours.
Wow.
And, yeah, we started at 9:00 in the morning. I let them have a 2-hour break, but we went all the way into the wee hours of the morning, because we had one day to shoot it. Because the location, if you ever watch, is like this old abandoned house, and the owner's like, do whatever the fuck you want in this thing. You spill as much blood as you want. We murdered 19 people in this house. And I was like, she's like, just because they were going to tear it down eventually. It happened to be like the property owner's mom, but then they had their brand new house that they built on the property, and you know the rest in peace, the mother passed away, but like the house just set for years, and we just luckily stumbled upon this, and we did this for a film festival, like one of them timed ones. We have a month to do it, right? So we have one weekend, and we just went in there and just fucked shit up, and we had 21 extras. We had a cast of 4 people. We had 40 some people on crew. We had, God, I can't even tell you how much money we had. And like, we didn't pay for it. Luckily, we had so many people like donate their cars. We had all kinds of classic cars. And, you know, it was our first time doing like a heavy wardrobe film, because not only did we have the 80s wardrobe, you had the 50s wardrobes. And it was just a wild ass time. It was my first, like, because most of our films up until that point were just very small skeleton crews, like less than 10 people. That was the first film where we had it where it was like 40 some people. It's like 48. And I'm just like, you know, you're just like, you take that. That's the first time ever on a film set. I just took a second and I stopped back and I'm like, this is fucking badass. Like, look at all these people. There's all these dead ass kids on the floor. There's like blood everywhere. People are laughing, you know, they're like, just having a good time. You're just like, fuck, man, this is what this life is really about. Like, this is the time. And it's like, that's the first time I ever like stopped and like just kind of just smell the roses, I guess you would say, like in the proverbial sense. But
wow,
that would be the first one that like stood out there. And that was the first film we did a premiere for, because we did a double feature. Because right after that, I DP'd a Michael Myers fan film called The 78 Slasher.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so we went we took 1 week off, took 2 months to film or to plan and film Friends Forever, took a week off, and then we spent the rest of the summer, fall, winter doing 78 Slasher, which is like it's almost a 40-minute film.
Wow.
But I DP'd that, but I didn't direct that. But that was another challenging film that we weren't. Then we actually went to the Linux in January, because we finished that film about beginning of December, then the beginning of January, we had a double feature with both the films. So
At the Lennox?
yeah.
Wow.
We sold out the 300-seat theater. It was wild.
Shit, really?
Nice.
Yeah, Alex will tell you that story sometime. It was crazy.
Congratulations. That's incredible, man.
Thank you.
So do all your films have a premiere like that, or like have a run in the theater or anything?
It's hard to give the details right now, but obviously, since we're here to podcast, tell your listeners, like the goal this year is to do like a showcase where because we have all these unreleased films. Like, we're already putting films at festivals. We have 7 films that are unreleased. And I really just want to do like a showcase where we show all of our films. And just like we did with the premiere, I want other trailers from other filmmakers around the region. I want their trailers in there. And then I like to do what's called fake trailers, where everybody, the writing group says, I want to write a movie about fucking, I don't know, zombie pirates, right? Let's do a 30-second trailer of that, show it at the premiere, and people's reactions, let it speak for themselves. If people like laugh really hard at this fucking trailer, put that on the notes. That's one maybe we should make. Or if it was quiet, nobody said a thing, like, oh, maybe we shouldn't, A, maybe not do that idea, or B, maybe rework it because it didn't get a good audience reaction. So I really want to concentrate on that. So really it'll be fun fake trailers that we're working on of just ideas, and then just trailers from other filmmakers, because I really want to support other filmmakers, and then we'll show all of our films. So that's in the works for this year later on.
Please keep us in the loop. I would love to attend
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, for sure.
That sounds like a blast.
They're a good time. They're a really good time. I really want to have it outside this year, but there's so much logistical challenge, because like I fucking hate that we don't have like a drive-in theater here, or like some kind of outside experiments. They have like the bullshit one that's down at the river, and they do have the big blow-up projector, and they show some movie that nobody really gives a shit about. But like, no, there's nothing there that's like for indie to like. I would rather show it at like a dive bar, or like somewhere like really cool, like, you know, that has some history to it, or like some bones, you know what I mean? Or if we can't do an outdoor theater or like that, do it some way to like make it interesting.
Sure. I mean, there's the South High drive-in, but
is that still open?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But maybe wear a bulletproof vest if you're going. I don't know. It's a little sketch down that way, so I would have a little concern. But yeah, that drive-in is still definitely open. I think it's got 2 screens.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I thought they closed that.
No, it's still there. But man, this has been so much fun having you on. Thank you so much for being here. I want to encourage everyone to go to alysmfilms.com. Again, I'm going to have the link below in the description. You're also on Instagram at Thomas_Angeletti_, and I believe Alysm Films is that's just the handle on Instagram for that. Is there anywhere else people should be directed to check you guys out, check out your projects?
Just that, the YouTube, we're about to upload a bunch of behind the scenes stuff for this. Some stuff it's hard because we filmed so much behind the scenes, but there's so many spoilers. So we're trying to edit out the spoilers, but give you still like a taste of what we're doing behind the scenes. So that'll be on our YouTube. It's just Alysm Films there as well. And then, like I said, Instagram, we have Alysm Films Facebook, and then alysmfilms.com.
Awesome. So, which everything, again, people will be linked below. So just scroll down and click on if you want to check it out. Thomas, once again, man, thank you so much for being here. Let's do this again in the future. This was a blast.
No, I'd love to. You guys are great. This has been a lot of fun.
Awesome. So are you, man.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jack, can you tell these lovely people what they can find on our website, sir?
Go to cannedairpodcast.com where you can listen, like, follow, subscribe, catch the latest episode, become a patron, buy some merch, and if you'd like to be a guest and promote your work, send us an email on our contacts page.
1 2. And don't forget to find us on Instagram at canned_air and on TikTok at Canned Air Podcast and over at cannedairpodcast.com. Like Jack was just talking about, 2 different ways you can support us. There's a Patreon page and a merch page. I mean, the merch page gets you t-shirts, hoodies, hats, mugs, stickers, all that kinds of stuff with our logo on it. Pretty self-explanatory. And then there's the Patreon page. $5 a month gets you access to a 4 or 5 year plus growing catalog. Mm-hmm. Tons of stuff on there. You couldn't listen to it all in a month if you wanted to, and it's only $5, people. Why not? Come on, help out your boys, right, Jack? Come on.
Don't go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
let's have it.
Let the venti sit for a day. Come get your fill of canned air, people. Come on. And also, Evergreen Podcast Network, the network we've been on now for about 4 years. And very proud to be a part of with a lot of other great podcasts. So evergreenpodcast.com, check them out. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. So until next time, thank you so much for watching and be excellent to each other.